Hey guys, Marzinger here, bringing you another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video, and so today we're going to be taking a look at the EZA for INT VADOS. We are going to be running her on the Universe 6 team. Unfortunately for her, she only has one 200% lead, which is the INT Carnival Gohan that leads Bond of Master and Disciple. But of course she is a supporter. She does support Bond of Master and Disciple, but she supports Universe 6, Realm of God, Siblings Bond. She actually does cover a decent amount of bases, but I wanted to run her on the Universe 6 team here because, as you can see, the last part of her passive, she randomly changes key spheres of a certain type to rainbow at the start of the turn if there's a Universe 6 or Realm of God's ally attacking in the same turn. So she can be very useful for this team, especially when it comes to units like Kefla that want to pick up a certain number of orbs. So she has attack and defense 160%. She has a 70% chance to dodge. Then she gets an additional attack and defense 60% within the turn if she dodges. Then she gives Universe 6, Realm of God, Siblings Bond, and Bond of Master and Disciple 1 key and 20% attack and defense. That stacks. So I don't think there are any characters that are in all 4. I think Blue Evolution Vegeta is in 3 of them, which means he would be getting 60%, which is pretty crazy. And of course would be a Realm of God's ally for her as well, so that could be interesting for the future. We know he's got his EZA now on JP. She does also massively raise attack and defense for 1 turn, which is a 100% raise, lowers attack and seals. So you can see here, start of turn, one of her best link partners is actually Champa, or at least on the Universe 6 team, it just is Champa. Innocence, Shocking Speed, Godly Power, and Fierce Battle. So you can see we're starting the turn with 200k defense. If she gets a dodge against one of these attacks in slot 1, that's going to go up to over 300k because we get 60% buff. Then she gets a 100% buff on super. So she's going to be over 600k defense with a 70% chance to dodge as well. And obviously none of the characters on this rotation require any orbs specifically, although I've just noticed that Kefla is in slot 7, so it's not like we need to save orbs for her for this turn, but there you go. There's the dodge, so you see the numbers go up there at the bottom, and then we get 6.5. Now, bear in mind, most of the time, she is going to be a floating support unit if you're going to run her on these teams, which means that you're not going to get that extra stats before attacking, so her attack stat will be considerably lower. But of course her getting that first dodge of the turn is key, because then of course she can get those extra stats, and then if she does get hit by the second attack post super, her defense of course will be very, very high, and so she should be able to hold pretty well in that slot. Now the thing is as well, looking at her links, like Vados and Whis units, so of course, unsurprisingly, link well with like Champa and Beerus and stuff like that. So some of the Beerus units, like physical Beerus, you know, definitely benefits from having another really good support unit around him. You could get away with, in some of the harder content, potentially running her in slot 1. She then gets the dodge. She's giving Beerus a bunch of support. And then of course he goes crazy. She's rainbow orb changing, which is really good for him because he wants to pick up 7 orbs, although realistically his 7 orbs is what gives him the extra damage reduction before he attacks. But of course, again, you could use her as a floating support unit on like a Realm of God's team, for example. You could run a double Beerus Realm of God's team with her as a floating unit. She's going to be making those rainbow orbs, making it significantly easier for him to get the 7 orbs that he wants for the extra damage reduction. So definitely seems like she's going to be very useful. Now, will she make the cut for Chaos team? I would imagine so. I mean, the orb changing just to be able to help out Kefla is already pretty crazy. As you can see, we get the orb change on this turn, and now we shouldn't have any trouble getting well, we're going to get to 0 attack in slot 1 now anyway, so let's do... Do you have a buff? Why do I think you have a buff on your super? You don't, do you? No. He's just providing support from his passive. So we'll do this. We'll grab these for you. So yeah, we're still starting off 200k. Her numbers are going to look basically the same, right? Unless we've got any other support on the rotation or anything. But I like the fact that global, we still have the limit breaker aura on... second form cell for some reason. Still no idea why that occurred or why it hasn't been fixed. I mean, it's not like a huge issue that needs to be fixed, but... So you can see here now 4 million attack. That's the attacks that she's doing without that buff. But then we get an additional super, jumps up to 4.6. Now she's well over 600k defense. And if she dodges, she's now got another 60% buff on top of that. Which I believe, if it's multiplicative after she's gotten her super attack buffs and then she gets the dodge, that means her defense would now be over 1 million. So I'm not sure if it isn't, then obviously it'll be considerably lower. But after getting a double super, she's on, what, like 6 to 700k defense. And then if she gets 60% on top of that, that's then putting her over 1 million with 70% chance to dodge. So definitely a very, very strong option for a support unit. Floating in slot 3 against AoEs as well. Like, she's obviously still gonna have that 70% chance to dodge, and if she gets that dodge, even if she is in slot 3 against the boss with AoEs, that means she's then getting that extra 60% attack and defense before she gets to attack. So honestly, like, I read the details and they all seemed pretty good to me, but like actually getting to try them out here and see the numbers and stuff, I'm really, really impressed with all of these Universe 6 sub EZAs. It's crazy because, like, I really like Rose, and I think people are super underrating him, but, like, it's a shame that his design has so many weird flaws and just odd design choices, when, like, Kefla and all of these sub-EZAs all seem really, really good. It just seems a bit of a shame that it's like they're all coming out at the same time, and they unnecessarily hampered Rose with these weird restrictions that they really didn't need to give him in order for him to... have been a top tier unit, because yeah, these EZAs are all very, very good. I'm definitely very impressed with Vados. I mean, she's not like insane, you know, gonna be tanking big boss super attacks and stuff like that, but she's definitely looking very, very strong. So let's go ahead and we'll put her here. Let's grab these. Now, obviously, Champer's not a great link. I mean, he's okay with his EZA, but Champer's not a great unit for running. On Kale's best version of the team, he probably does not make the cut, right? And you can see if we don't dodge and it's pre-super, we are going to be taking some damage, right? Because even with that buff she gets from the one dodge, if our start of turn defense is around 200k, then after she gets the first dodge, it jumps up to 300 and something, which then means some of the harder hitting normal attacks in the game are going to do damage to her. Which is why, of course, ideally she's a slot 3 floating unit, because she's massively raising her defense. I gave mine basically all additional and then the rest into dodge, because, you know, she's got a 70% chance to dodge anyway, but she's not on the team to do damage, so I don't need her to crit. I think she has like 3 crit just so she has some crit chance, but yeah, that extra bit of dodge, just because you never know. I mean, we took a hit there from Cell, even though we didn't take a lot of damage, we did still take a hit, so having that little bit of extra dodge could always pay off at some point. But yeah, additional I think is definitely good to go for her, because if you do get that additional super, then it is another 100% raise to her defense, which obviously very, very beneficial overall. So now we get Kefla out here, and the thing is, like, because all the units on this team link so well, we don't really ever have to worry about orbs. So it's very easy to like save orbs for Kefla, right? Like, we can get 6 orbs there. We can grab an AGL orb for you as well anyway, and then yeah, we can get our orbs for Super Saiyan 2 Kefla. So we will absolutely dominate Cell here. Of course, Tech Caulifla on this team build, basically untouchable. I think this is enough allies for her to have the full the stacks of dodge up to over 100%. But yeah, this Universe 6 team, and that's the thing, right? You think about, we've shown off Kale and Caulifla so far. You think about, like, we have those rotations where we've got Tech Caulifla and AGL Kale, and then the other rotation, you know, we could have AGL Kale, maybe Kefla on main rotation once the other AGL Kale's transformed, it can be in slot 1, and then you have Vados in slot 3. Now, for a lot of the units on the team, the Universe 6 girls, most of them are only getting the 20% support from the Universe 6, because they're not in Siblings Bond or Realm of Gods or Bond of Master and Disciple. Kabe is Kabe, whatever it is in Bond of Master and Disciple, so he gets a little bit extra as well, but which of course will be good for when we get the 50% support EZAs, because that STR Kabe is very, very good on Kale's team. So Let's go ahead and do this. Now, this will be Vados' true test, because this man always supers in slot 1, and he's got type advantage. So if she doesn't dodge, we will die. I don't think it's an indictment of her if she doesn't, but yeah, she does come in clutch. Because, you know, it's the UI Goku curse, right? You can have 70% chance to dodge, and then not dodge when it counts. But, I mean, so far she's only failed to dodge 1 attack, and it was a normal where we took like 22k. Now, again, if we were fighting, let's say, Fusion Zamasu, and that 1 attack we don't dodge is in like the physical phase, even if it's a normal, if it's post super for him, then he's dealing, what is it, like 600 to 700k with that attack, especially because type disadvantage. So if it's post super, she could be up to, say, 600k defense, but she's got to dodge that attack, otherwise we are taking some big damage. But I mean, she's good enough that in a lot of situations she's potentially not even going to get one shot if she does take damage from normal. Normals, of course, I'm talking about, right? If she's getting hit by these big supers, then it's basically GG. But, as I say, she's got 70% chance to dodge. I gave her a bit of extra dodge in the hidden potential, so I would expect her to dodge more often than not. But we all know how that goes sometimes when you rely on dodge or die. I mean, she's not a dodge or die character in the fullest sense. I only really use that term for like characters that will get absolutely destroyed by normal attacks, which as long as she's post super, and especially if she's post a double super, her defense will actually be really, really good, as long as she's gotten that first dodge of the turn as well. So she will tank a lot of normals in the game fairly comfortably. But yeah, when it comes to super attacks from any of the real endgame bosses, she's got to dodge them, otherwise she's dead. So, I mean, but that's what we would expect from a unit that's there to just provide a lot of support, and then dodge is their main defensive mechanic. So yeah, I think she's definitely very good. We'll definitely try out Kale's team with her on as a support unit, I think, because we wouldn't run Champa. I mean, obviously for this, we wouldn't be running these as like main rotations anyway, but we would, this rotation will be made very interesting by the fact that Kefla is getting all of this support. The orbs are a bit all over the place on this turn, though. Can I actually make it so I can get 6 orbs for Kefla here? Yeah, I can do that, right? Drop that down. And then Bosch, there we go. Alright, so Vados, again, in slot 1. Your job is to dodge. There you go. Dodge that super, get the buff. Dodge again. And then the 6.5 mil. So, I mean, fairly consistent numbers with her. We haven't got, like, a lot of other supports on the team or anything. Because, like I say, largely you're going to be using her as a floating support anyway. So, it's not like she's going to have other units coming onto the rotation to juice her up. But, I mean, there you go. She basically dodged everything. We very much got away with a fast one here as well. Because there's no attacks in the middle slot for Champa. Because he would not be in a good spot there. But look at that. Kefla, only Fierce Battle active. And it's a 17.8 million attack stat, thanks to all of the buffs from the orbs, the support from Vados as well, helping out a little bit, 18 million on the additional. So this Kale team definitely looking pretty crazy. 19.7, sheesh. Almost up to 20 mil. She can still get hidden potential, right, in Super Saiyan 2. She can do 4 supers, I think. It's a shame. But yeah, wild. So, yeah, you love to see it. Kale's team definitely looking very, very strong. I guess we can finish off here since we know we're not going to get another rotation with Vados. But let me know what you guys think of the INT VADOS EZA down below in the comment section. I definitely think she is another very good, very impressive EZA out of this batch. All of the sub-EZAs for this Kefla Extreme Z battle. Of course, Kefla herself. Just 5 very good EZAs dropped on Global. I say 5. I haven't tested out Hit yet, but from reading his passive, he seemed good. He'll be the next one upcoming, of course. And then once we've finally done showcasing all the EZAs, I definitely want to make a new top 10 EZA TURs on Global. Because I feel like, I don't know if Vados would make that list. It depends, because she is a support unit more so than anything. She's limited to the teams that she's on. But I think like Kefla and even the Tech Caulifla probably deserve a spot on that team. So let me know what you guys think. Also, I did, of course, show the art earlier when we had her up on the screen. But her sticker, she does have a key ball thing. So the sticker's somewhat decent, better than Kale and Caulifla at least. But yeah, let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Masked Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Check out the links down below for the Discord and the merch store, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.